Hello everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Today, we're going to work on getting our Kerbals, Valentina specifically, down to the polar ice caps. Now, we haven't gotten any people yet into a full orbit without death. Rest in peace, Jeb. But Valentina will work admirably for now. So we'll get down to the southern polar ice cap in Uller 6, as Uller is the Norse god of skiing and hunting, right? Skiing, snow, that makes sense, right? Exploration. So that's what we'll do first. Uller 6, right? And we'll go ahead and get that underway. We want to build a little bit more of a fuel efficient rocket, right? And we also want to be able to actually get our craft back to the planet. It's kind of important, right? We almost lost Valentina last time. That was real scary. I don't want to lose Valentina. We were like a bullet coming in, and it was terrifying. So not something I want to repeat, if possible. So for now, we'll go ahead and we'll set up our storage and our science, right? So we've got our science junior. We'll go ahead and get a thermal heat shield, right? And again, we need to be able to re-enter the atmosphere without just kind of blowing through it, and also at a trajectory that's good enough for us to not destroy the craft or our science pods or anything like that, right? Because we only have so much of, well, science stuff, and we need to preserve that for our experiments. Kind of important. Cool. We've got our electrical. We've got all our experiments taken care of, right? Let's get some solar panels on here, just in case, right? So the solar panels we can just kind of put here on the side of our science junior. Just get some extra electrical charge, just in case. We don't expect to be out in space very long, but just in case, you know, you never really know. Space is a dangerous place. It's not something you want to mess around with. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do liquid fuel engines. We're just going to see what we can do with liquid fuel, right? So we had 2 liquid fuel tanks on the outsides, and for here, we're just going to do 3 on the outside, and it'll be about the same size tank. So this is 2,354 meters per second, just based on how strong that is and what the payload it's carrying is. So if we do this, we can get... I just want to put this on top of that. Nope, I don't want to put it on top that way. That would be silly. There we go. And we'll get some... We'll actually put these on the bottom, right? So these will have slightly more fuel than that main engine, but maybe we can do a little bit more with it. And we go ahead and put a nose cone, of course. Can't go without a nose cone. Okay. Uller 6, it looks like she's ready to go. I don't have any structural support for these yet, which is probably not the best thing on the planet. Or off the planet. Okay. So we're going down to the southern pole, right? So this we have a little bit more control over because it's not a solid rocket. So at half throttle, we can't even get off the ground, right? It's not nearly that incredible acceleration as just a solid booster. But we can throttle this, and we can become more fuel efficient as we go. All right, so I'm still gaining speed. I don't have to be at full throttle as we climb. We don't have to climb at 1 billion meters per second. So we want to be cutting down to the south. And so that's what we're going to do. And as the atmosphere thins, right, we can accelerate even harder. We still have plenty of gas. See, we can see how that this is draining because we don't have as much fuel. This is climbing as we're getting out of the atmosphere and losing weight. Right, so we don't want any spin, but we do want to start kind of leaning over, right? We don't want to lean over too much, because that would be bad for us. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And there we go. And you tumble. So this is what happens when you're not really... when you try to do these things too early. So nothing we can really do now as we're kind of fighting this. But maybe we can recover it, right? We're not going super fast. So let's just burn our fuel, see where we can go. Let's just accelerate out into space. So we wasted a lot on that burn. We're just gonna let the spacecraft kind of carry us. We're actually going out into the east here, which is kind of, generally where the spacecraft wants to go, just based on the mechanics. So okay, so now we're in orbit. So now we can fix this, right? So let's fix this. This is kind of not great, but that's okay. We could actually probably get into a full orbit. You know what? Let's screw it. Let's get into a real orbit here. 47,000 meters, 74,000 meters. This is probably recoverable, I think. Oops. I don't even go that far out, right? Maneuver. So this is 1 minute 14 seconds. So that's just about now is where we're going to need to burn. But oops, I want to go to the maneuver node. Maneuver node. Maneuver node. Oh, well, this is going to be a bit of a not easy. That's okay. We'll just burn until we burn what we need to burn. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so my initial issue was I tried to turn while we had too much atmosphere. So that's something that we need to work on in the future, to not do that. That way we won't tumble and lose all of that speed that we gained up. Because losing speed, right, is bad when you're trying to, fly. Fly is important. Can't lose any speed. Alright, here we are accelerating. You can see Ratatoskar 2 and 3, excuse me, as they kind of orbit. If we hit this guy, a net path, just a connection to all satellites. We're not in range to be connected to the other satellites, but that's okay. First stop, we want to go for the path, right? Visualize the path of where everything, where your data is being transmitted. It's kind of what that shows. But we have a direct connection to the Space Center, because it's pretty much below us at this point. Yeah, it's directly below us. We just can't see it because it's nighttime. So we actually might be able to get a full orbit around the planet here. There we go. So 78,000 meters. We should get one full orbit of the planet. And you know what? I want to do that, We can actually recover a spacecraft that has done that. And that'll be huge for scientific purposes, right? So let's go ahead. We know we can't really do any science up here. That's just not how that works. So at 70,000 meters, we should be okay. So let's get over the poles. Let's just warp to the poles. Kind of down and around. Whew. This is cool, right? That's the bottom of the planet. But, I mean, it could easily be just the top of the planet, right? But it kind of... It's looking... Whatever is down is toward the center of the body that you're orbiting. So, it always looks like that's the top, right? And you can't look... You can look away. Cool. Beautiful. So, now that we're there, right? Let's go ahead and get her out over the other pole. Whee! So fast travel across the world. The version of fast traveling in this game, right, is you warp time. Whee! So right now we're accelerating because we're falling back toward the planet, which is super cool. So let's go ahead and let's warp down there. So this way, right? So we can start decelerating. Hopefully we don't hit the top of the atmosphere, right? That's the plan, is to not do that. That's bad. We don't want that. What we want is to be able to slow down. So let's go here, right? We'll add a maneuver. You want to slow down. Ooh, it's much easier to just kind of slow down than it is to speed up. Maneuver. All right, so that's a 3-second burn. That ain't nothing, right? It's only 100 meters per second, 175. So where is? Ah, there's the planet. There you go. So we'll go ahead and just fast forward to get down there. As we again get away from the planet. Okay, here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1, fire. 3-second burn, and there you go. Burn complete. And just like that, we have. Oh, I'm gonna go retrograde, and just like that, we're gonna hit the atmosphere soon enough because we were already kind of down here in it. Oop, time warp is stopped. Yep, get us to that retrograde. So these are things that we need to slow down. It's nighttime. I can't see a dang thing, right? So let's turn on the single light in our pod. Valentina's having a great time. Good for you, Valentina. As long as you're having a great time, that's what matters. All right, so the atmosphere is getting pretty close, right? So I can only do so much. So the thing I need is like monopropellant tanks. That way we can actually so monopropellant, we can get these little rocket boosters, just tiny little ones, tiny little ones. Like they use them to maneuver, right, and that will help us stay upright. This is a bullet. This is just bullet shaped. I'm surprised that the Mercury program was able to get everybody back, the way that they did, without, the technology that we have today. You have to start somewhere. You really do, and it's just awesome. It's mind blowing the power that humanity can kind of bring to bear for science. To get off the planet and to learn and to develop things. And well, space programs, sure, let's get people into space, but also let's build rockets that can carry nuclear weapons. Yeah, kind of a mixed background for rocketry. Stealing Nazi scientists from, Germany once we beat them in World War II. We being the United States. And the Soviet Union did the same thing. Hey, let's build rockets to put nuclear weapons on, and then, oh, well, you know what, we can go to space too. Uh, but also, space is important because that's where we can put our nuclear weapons. All right, here we go. Descending into the atmosphere. Got a lot of burn time left. I can slow us down quite a bit. So let's just keep it going. So this way, things should heat up pretty quick. And once I start overheating on this engine, if I still have fuel left, I'll actually burn whatever I have left. I'll accelerate the burning. And just in time, we had sunrise here. Let's hope we get plenty of science out of this. Okay, and our engine's out. So now we wait. I'm gonna leave this on. I separated too early last time. Things exploded due to heat. So as long as we can kind of maintain our angle and at least trying to keep things symmetric has helped with that. But I can tell that we're starting to kind of yaw a little bit to the left, which is fine because we're slowing down pretty quick. We've got lots of atmosphere to keep burning through. Yep, there's our overheat. I'm not going to disconnect it. I'm just going to let it go. Yep, just let it go. Just let it go. Because then we'll burn the engines, the fuel tanks. Those will go out next. And then we have the ablator down here. And there we go. So we're cooling off already as we're slowing down. And we're slowing down. And we're slowing down. Oop, there we go. So let's just... Come on, correct it. Correct it. Come on. So Valentina's probably not going to be able to connect it. Or correct it, rather. But that's okay. We should be able to deploy our drogue chutes. Get those drogue chutes out. There we go. Yes, Valentina. Excellent work. Whew. Oh, goodness me. So our engine went somewhere. I actually lost sight of it. I have no idea where it went. That's okay. We'll descend. Got those drogue chutes going. Should slow us down plenty. Let's just go ahead and accelerate. So, yeah, sea level and... Yep, things exploded. So we can kind of... We can cut away our drogue chutes. We don't need those anymore. Come on. So we've slowed down. Perfect amount here. I don't need these chutes anymore. Boop. Alright. And then let's just accelerate toward the ground. We always just want to guarantee the safety of the crew. That is the most important thing to me. You know, Jeb was a sad, sad loss. So we've upgraded our safety procedures. You know, we've got more parachutes. We got better chutes. We got drogue chutes. Got all these things that you could want. All right, let's go ahead and slow down. We got 40 meters to go, and plunk. All right, let's go ahead and conduct a material study. Cool. From Cumberland's southern ice shelf. One of the samples appears to be judging you silently. Go ahead and open these guys up. We'll observe some goo. 4.5 science. Okay. We just observe it. Collected and recorded. It's kind of boring. That's okay. Temperature readings are quite literally nominal. I don't know if I can just double up on experiments. That'd be really cool. I don't know if I can do that. It might count as the same thing, but I'm going to double up on the experiments because I'm here. And then let's go ahead and see if we can't knock it over. Nope. Okay. Well, Valentina, you're going to get out. Go EVA. Oh, actually, before you do that, go in. Let's get a crew report first. Crew report. You recruited the crews. Yep. Assessment of the situation. That's fine. You're going to go ahead and let go. Whee! Blood. Alright, Valentina. Here we are. On the southern ice shelf. Let's go ahead and plant a flag. Uller 6. Cool. Alright. And then we'll get a surface sample. And an EVA report. Yeah, spacesuit probably wasn't entirely necessary, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and go back to the tracking station. And then we'll pick up our crew. We'll recover Valentina. She brought back 17 science on her own. And then the actual spacecraft, right? So this brought 43 science. So lots of mystery goo. So it did double. Well, it doubled a little bit. Yeah, not really. Recovery of vessel returned from Kerbal orbit. That's a lot of data value on that. Awesome. So let's go ahead and go back out. Let's see what kind of R&D we can do. So I know, we want 160, to get to unmanned tech for better satellites, but, I mean, space exploration is kind of important. Storage containers, we want to get more into space. So maybe landing gear, bigger. Okay, bigger equipment's important. We Heavy rocketry is also important, right? So let's go ahead and do. We can afford heavy rocketry, or we can do like fuel systems or advanced flight controls. I kind of just want to do advanced, like heavy rocketry. Giving us these bigger engines is important, right? But maybe not necessarily the most important thing. Landing is important. Better parachutes, of course. But you know what? Let's go ahead and do. Yes, let's go ahead and get advanced flight controls so we can get these variable thrust blocks, right? These little RCS horns. Just this way, they we don't have to worry about possibly flipping around during our reentry. We have a little bit more control over that. So we'll go ahead and purchase that. And then we have 50 left. I mean, advanced. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to get general construction at some point. So we're just gonna do that now. We're gonna bite the bullet. Okay, and you know what? I think our next mission is to get a Ratatoskar probe out between the moon and Kerbin. But for now, that is where we're going to end today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it hit that like button, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below about what challenges do you want me to take part in. Do you want me to go to the moon? Do you want me to drop a rover on Mudmus? Do you want me to get a crew to Duna? All these things. Science games, Kerbin in general, to do everything takes forever. It's nearly impossible. I have never done everything in a game. So, this will be a long-running series. I really do enjoy this game, and, if you guys want to see more like this, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.